Ladies and gentlemen, Eagles Nation, buckle up because tonight, under those bright lights at MetLife Stadium, the Philadelphia Eagles are about to unleash a wild card that's got the whole NFC East buzzing like a swarm of green bees. What if I told you that after months of rehabbing a gut-wrenching injury that could have sidelined him for good, Nakobe, the heart and soul linebacker who's been itching to get back on that gridiron, is suiting up for Thursday Night Football against our arch-nemesis, the New York Giants? Yeah, you heard that right. In a move that's equal parts bold and eyebrow-raising, the Birds have activated Dean off the physically unable to perform list. But hold on, why now? On a short week with nothing but walkthroughs, on that notorious turf that's chewed up more ACLs than a bad horror movie sequel? Oh, this is gonna be a story for the ages. Welcome to your Eagles Fix. I'm your host, diving deep into the drama, the grit, and the glory of Philly football. Let's fly. First off, let's set the scene, because if you're an Eagles fan, you live for these moments, the kind that make your chest swell with that unbreakable Philly pride. It's Thursday night in East Rutherford, New Jersey, the air thick with rivalry smoke from the last time these two teams tangled. The Giants, our eternal NFC East thorn, always seem to bring out the beast in us. Remember that wild 2018 playoff heartbreaker where we dominated but couldn't seal the deal? Or the 2022 revenge tour where Saquon Barkley ran wild on us? Yeah, stakes are sky high. But tonight, the big news isn't just another chapter in the Birds versus Big Blue saga, it's the triumphant, if not totally head-scratching, return of Nakobe. For those just tuning in or pulling up a stool at the corner bar, here's the quick hit. The Eagles pulled the trigger on activating their fourth-year stud linebacker just hours ago, greenlighting him for this primetime clash. Dean's been sidelined since that brutal wild card weekend back on January 12th. Man, does that feel like yesterday or a lifetime ago? It was against the Green Bay Packers, in the frozen tundra of Lambeau, where Dean went down with a torn patellar tendon. Picture this, a guy who's all fire and fury, diving for a tackle, and boom, his knee buckles like a bad plot twist in a Rocky sequel. That injury. It's the kind that tests souls, the sort that kept legends like Brian Dawkins sidelined but never broken. Dean fought through it all summer, grinding in the shadows while the world moved on to training camp. He was eligible to return last week against the Broncos. Eligible, mind you, but the coaching staff played it smart, cautious, ruling him out on Friday. And what happened? A tough 21-17 loss in Denver, where our defense bent but didn't quite break. Ouch. Now, with a mini-bye looming after this Giants tilt, they could have waited, given him that full week of pads and reps before we hit the road to Minnesota in Week 7. But no, the Eagles are rolling the dice on Dean tonight. Curious? You bet. Genius? We'll see by the final whistle. Now, let's peel back the layers here, because this isn't just a roster move. It's a chess play from defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, the grizzled veteran who's turned our back seven into a nightmare for quarterbacks league-wide. Fangio spilled the beans on Tuesday, and I love how straight shooter he is. There's a chance he could be active this week, Vic said, his voice gravelly like he's calling plays from a smoky back room. But then he pumped the brakes. Oh, it would just be, because he hadn't had any 2025 game experience, no training camp, it wouldn't be a full-time role yet. Translation. Dean's dipping his toes back in, maybe 15 to 20 snaps if things feel right, easing that knee into the fray without overwhelming it. Smart money says we'll see him in obvious passing downs, lurking like a shadow, ready to pounce on Daniel Jones or whoever the Giants trot out there. But why risk it on this short week? Walkthroughs only, no full contact, no live reps to shake off the rust. And don't get me started on MetLife's turf. That synthetic beast has a rap sheet longer than a South Philly cheesesteak line. It's blamed for everything from soft tissue strains to full-blown season enders. Players hate it. Heck, even the groundskeepers whisper about it. Yet here we are, Nick Sirianni's crew saying, "Nah, we're good. Dino's ready." Is it a vote of confidence in our medical staff? A statement to the locker room that no one's irreplaceable? Or just pure Eagles guts? The same DNA that fueled that miracle 2017 Super Bowl run when Carson Wentz went down and Foles rose up? Whatever it is, it's got me fired up. Speaking of fire, let's talk about the dudes who've been holding down the fort in Dean's absence. Because if there's one thing Philly fans know, it's that our linebacking core has always been the heartbeat of this defense. Zach Bond, the all-pro beast, and Jihad Campbell, our first-round rookie sensation, they've been straight-up lights out. I mean, come on, this duo is the only linebacker pairing in the entire NFL right now where both guys have racked up 30 or more tackles, at least one forced fumble, and a takeaway to boot. That's not just good, that's pinch me, is this real territory. Bon. He's a tackling machine with that old-school Philly edge. 40-plus stops already, 2 sacks, and a pick to go with it. He's the only defender in the league pulling off that trifecta this season. And his pass rush game? Pro Football Focus has him graded highest among all LBs. 5 hurries, 2 QB hits, 2 sacks. The man's a one-man wrecking crew, channeling the spirit of Reggie White, the Minister of Mayhem himself, who terrorized QBs back in the 80s and 90s with those iconic sacks that still echo in Lincoln Financial Field chants. Then there's Campbell, Jihad, the kid from Alabama with that quiet storm vibe. Highest PFF grade among all rookie defenders? That's Rookie of the Year buzz, folks. He's got the instincts of a vet, sniffing out plays before they bloom, and that speed off the edge? It's like watching a young Jeremiah Trotter, the chocolate thunder who patrolled our middle in the early 2000s, delivering hits that felt like thunderclaps. Together, Bond and Campbell have masked Dean's absence so seamlessly that our defense ranks top 5 in points allowed, even after that Denver slip-up. Fangio's scheme, that hybrid 3-4 look with twists and stunts, has them thriving, but inserting Dean? It's like adding nitro to a muscle car. His pre-injury tape from last year shows a guy with 78 tackles, 2 picks, and that nose for the ball. Imagine the three-headed monster, Bond's power, Campbell's flash, Dean's savvy. The Giants' offense, already sputtering with Jones under center, won't know what hit him. But let's zoom out for a sec, because Eagles history is littered with these comeback tales that make you believe in miracles. Think back to 2004, when Donovan McNabb gutted through a sports hernia to drag us to the Super Bowl, only to fall short, but man, the fight. Or 2018, when a hobbled Nick Foles orchestrated Philly special magic. Dean's return echoes that resilience, the kind baked into our DNA since the franchise's birth in 1933, rising from the ashes of the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets. We've got rivalries that bleed green and blue. Cowboys fans still seethe over our 48-7 curb stomping in 18, and Giants? Oh, the blood feuds from the Lynx raucous dog pound days, where Brian Dawkins would roar like a force of nature, firing up the "Fly Eagles Fly" chant that drowns out everything. That anthem. It's more than words, it's our war cry, born in the 80s but immortalized in that parade down Broad Street after Super Bowl 52, with millions belting it till their voices gave out. And pop culture. Come on, the Eagles are woven into the fabric, from Invincible, with Mark Wahlberg channeling Vince Papale's rags to riches kick return story, to Meek Mill hyping Jalen Hurts on tracks that blast from tailgates. Even now, with the world glued to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce drama across the league, our birds remind us footballs about underdogs clawing back. To get the pulse of this, I caught up with a fictional fireside chat. Okay, let's call it an exclusive scoop, from inside the Novacare complex. Picture this, I'm ringside with Nakobe Dean himself, sweat still fresh from a walkthrough, that knee wrapped but his eyes locked in. Man, it's been a grind, he'd say, leaning forward with that southern drawl from his martial days. Waking up every morning, staring at that scar, wondering if I'd ever feel the snap again. But Philly, this city's got that blue-collar soul, it pushes you. Fans dmang me, get back out there, Dino. That's fuel. Tonight. I'm not trying to be a hero, just want to contribute, hit somebody in powder blue, and feel like I'm home. Then cut to Vic Fangio, nursing a coffee in his office, that trademark squint. Nakobe's a gamer, always has been. We're not rushing him, we're trusting him. Short week. Turf. Oofed. Excuses are for losers. This is Eagles football, adapt or get left in the dust. And don't sleep on the fan angle. I imagined cornering a diehard at Pat Steaks, cheesesteak in hand. Activate Dean now. Ballsy. But that's us. Remember when we benched Wentz for Foles? Miracles happen on Thursdays too. Looking ahead, this could be the spark that ignites our playoff push. We're sitting pretty at, what, 3-2 after Denver? A win tonight vaults us to 4-2, breathing down the Cowboys' necks in the division. Those stars wearing that obnoxious star logo who we own 10 of the last 12. Dean's limited snaps mean Bond and Campbell stay fresh, but his presence? It forces offenses to account for the middle, opening edges for our D-line beasts like Josh Sweat and Bryce Huff. Long term, if he ramps up post-bye, We're talking top 3 defense by December, setting up a deep run like 17. But risks. Yeah, the knee could bark on that turf, sidelining him again and thrusting Campbell into full-time duty. Expert takes. My fictional panel, think Merrill Hogue on ESPN, says, Philly's rolling the dice, but with Fangio's track record from Chicago and Miami, it's calculated chaos. Dean could be the X-factor in a Super Bowl repeat chase. And stats back it. Teams returning from patellar tears average 85% snap counts by mid-season if eased and right. Hello, full integration by Thanksgiving. Folks, as the clock ticks down to kickoff, this is why we love the Eagles. The unpredictability, the heart, the sheer audacity that turns what if into watch out. So grab your green jersey, crack a Yangling, and tune in tonight. Watch Dean lace him up, feel that rush as the Link faithful. Okay, MetLife proxies, chant, Fly Eagles fly from the stands. This isn't just a game, it's a statement. A resurrection. And who knows? By night's end, we might just have another legend in the making. Until next time, stay passionate, stay green, EAGLS. Eagles.